I stole from my mother every single day. It all ended when I was 16, but it started much earlier when I was just a kid. What began as a way to buy a candy bar eventually grew into a dark daily ritual, and the goal got bigger. At the end of that road was a dream, a new mountain bike, a real one, with shocks and a good frame that cost thousands of dollars. We couldn't afford it, of course. My dad was a long-haul truck driver. My mom worked as a cashier at Walmart. Every dollar was accounted for. So I started on my own. It was our silent agreement, one that only I knew about. Every morning before my mom got up, I'd go to her purse in the hallway. I'd open her wallet and take something. Sometimes it was a $5 bill she'd gotten as change, sometimes a crisp 10. Over time, I got bolder. $20, 50, when I knew she'd just cashed her paycheck. Once, a single time, I saw a new, crisp $100 bill in her wallet. I took it. My heart pounded for the rest of the day. I was terrified she would notice, that all hell would break loose. But nothing happened. She never said a word. I had crossed a line. I understood that her trust in me was absolute, and I mercilessly took advantage of it. I hid the money in an old shoebox under my bed. I'd watch the stash grow. $500, $1,000, $1,500. I felt both pride and shame. I knew I was stealing, but I told myself it was for a noble cause. My bike. My small window to the outside world. When there was almost $2,000 in the box, our world fell apart. My younger sister, Zoe, suddenly got sick. A rare infection that attacked her kidneys. The hospital, tests, sleepless nights. My parents were wrecks. One evening, I overheard them talking in the kitchen. My dad said there was a new treatment that could help, but our insurance wouldn't cover it all. There was a huge deductible. They needed over $2,000 up front for the first dose. My mom started crying. She said she'd sell her grandmother's jewelry, that they'd take out another loan. I sat in my room listening, and under my bed, in a shoebox, lay the answer to their prayers. My bike money. My secret built over years. That was the worst night of my life. On one hand, the dream I had worked on for years. On the other, my sister's health. The next morning, I took all the cash from the box. I walked into the kitchen. My parents were sitting at the table, pale and tired. I placed the stack of bills in front of them. "Where did you get this?" my dad asked, looking at me like he was seeing a ghost. I answered without hesitation. The lie I'd been rehearsing in my head for years. I've been saving. From my allowance. Birthdays. I did some landscaping for Uncle Dave last summer. I wanted to buy a bike, but Zoe is more important. My mom burst into tears, but this time they were tears of happiness. She hugged me tighter than she ever had and whispered in my ear, "You're our hero, son. Our little hero." Zoe got the medicine. She recovered. For the entire family, I became the mature, responsible son who sacrificed his dreams for his sister. At every family gathering, I'd hear my aunts and uncles praise me to the heavens. I never told anyone the truth. To this day, when my mom looks at me with that boundless pride in her eyes, I feel like the biggest fraud. I became a hero because I was a thief, and that burden is so much heavier than not having a dream bike.